Hope you all are fine in the chilly morning. Good morning.
Yes,
Ready
ma'am.
for the class?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. Okay, children, before we proceed, I would like to recall what we did in the last class. Yesterday we talked about the planets, yes, and we discussed important points regarding planets. What is special about them? We also discussed about the temperature and all their Hindi names, etc. I told you that what can be asked from that, yes, and as you are well aware that from this chapter, I told you that objective questions, most of the objective questions are framed from this chapter, so be ready for it. So today we are going to start with a new topic and that is moon. Okay? Can anyone tell me the poem that we have been hearing from childhood about moon? Huh? A D?
The
Yes?
satellite bird.
Oh my god, that is the poem that you have been hearing from your childhood, Natural Satellite. Chanda
No,
Mama?
ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, so that was just to make it easy. Fine. Yes. About the moon, when we discussed, that is the natural satellite, the only natural satellite of Earth. Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. And it shines at night, but it does not shine from the light of its own. So that is why it is not a luminous object, but it is a non-luminous object. When we were discussing light, I told you about the luminous and the non-luminous objects. So it does not have the light of its own, and it shines by the reflection of the light that comes from the sun. So this is important about it. Then it keeps revolving around the earth. That is why it is called the natural satellite of earth. Yes. And now we when we talk about moon, generally what comes to our mind is a lot of songs. Yes, and it is so beautiful, and we want to know about it. It's very fascinating to know about it. But actually, when we in scientific terms, when we talk about moon, we need to know about how it looks like or how is its surface. Fine. So when we talk about it, we need okay, before that, just take a pencil in your hand so that you underline in the second paragraph. Please underline. It does not have its own light but shines due to the reflection of sunlight falling on it. That is important. Now, if we talk about the gravity on the moon, you know that gravitational force exists because of which if I throw anything, it is going to come down. I throw this chalk and it comes down. So it is because of the gravitational pull on the earth. The same way you have the gravity on moon. But can anyone tell me how is it related to earth? Is it the same?
No, ma'am. Ma'am,
No.
it's
Is
not.
it less or more?
Ma'am, the gravity is less of the moon.
Yes?
Ma'am, less. Ma'am,
Less. And because
Ma'am,
of
it is less.
yes, it is less. Very good. It is less because of which if you're going to throw anything, it is going to take some time to come back. Not exactly the same as it happens here on Earth. So again, please underline in the third paragraph, gravity about the moon has no atmosphere and the gravity about 1/6 of the Earth. You need to know 1/6 of the Earth. Then there are many craters and many mountains on Earth. If we actually have a look at it, if we have a close by look of the moon, the surface of the moon, we find so many craters and mountains. Then we talk about the phases of the moon, children. Now you must have seen, when you've seen in the sky, actually night sky, we have seen the moon changing its phases. It's not always the same. Sometimes you see the whole circle, sometimes it is half, sometimes less than half, sometimes it is only crescent. Yes. So why it happens, or why this is happening, or what is this happening? We need to know. So this is called the changing of the shape of the moon is referred to as the phases of the moon. First thing. So you can write that, you can make a note, or it's already given phases of the moon. So as to study the activity, please put your speakers off, Shilin. So as to study the phases of the moon, we just need to do one thing, and that is every day we have to observe the night sky. Yes, that is the only thing that we can do. We will be able to see different phases of the moon if we keep observing it for a month. And you need to have a record on, you can take a pencil, you can make a table every day, just make a record of the shape that you can actually find. And then if you record your observations with the diagram that is given in the book, you'll never ever forget it, because then you'll do it actually practically. Fine. So for a month you need to observe it. So let's talk about it. First, underline in the fourth paragraph, the moon completes one revolution around the earth in 27.3 days. This is important. 27.3 days. And we, of course, we are aware of this since, because see, as it is given in the book also, as its revolution and rotation period are almost same. So that is why we are always able to see only one side of the moon. So here when we talk about, we are actually talking about one side, like it's like this, 3D. So we are going to only talk about the one side of the moon. Now let's talk about the phases. The first one. Now see children, when I speak, as we've been doing it earlier, just match it with the diagram. So come to page number 213. On the day moon is in between the earth and the sun. Earth and the sun. When it is in between it, it is called new moon day. And in Hindi it is called Amavasya. You must have heard about this term Amavasya in which movies?
Ma'am, horror movies.
Very good. Who is it? How do you know? Rudraksh. Correct. In the horror movies, yes. You must have heard about them. Heard them saying Amavas ki Raat. Yes. So Amavas ki Raat actually exists. Yes, that is called where it is new moon day. So let's start from Amavas ki Raat. That is Amavasya from here. Can you see the new moon in the diagram, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will,
Yes,
okay, so from there we will move this side. Okay, so that is the first. You just make one there. We'll start from there. One, that is the first point. Or you can say you have started from there. So first, then second one, gradually the moon starts becoming visible as a shape of crescent. So crescent moon, when do you see? I mean, of course you see it many times, but when it has its more importance. Crescent moon. This shape.
Ma'am, Eid.
Yes, very good. My AD children are so intelligent. Eid wala. Yes, correct. So this is you can see in the diagram now in the second one. After the first one, that is the new moon. Please keep following it, children. So you see, you move to the second one. There you see a crescent shape. Yes, and here it is called waxing of moon or waxing crescent.
Is a bad
Is
boy.
any
And you fucking cross.
who is this?
This
Arush
and
Rastogi, you want to say something? Arush, put your speaker on quickly. Arush, I'm waiting for you to put your speaker on quickly.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my
What
phone is
happened?
lagging. Ma'am, my app is lagging. That's why I can't switch off my speaker.
Switch on my speaker.
Yes,
You were
ma'am.
saying something?
No, ma'am.
I heard you saying.
No, ma'am.
Please do not do this. Follow the conduct, okay? Put your speaker off. Thank you. Yes. Now, after this, we move on to the next one. That is the first quarter. Now, here you see that from crescent shape, we see the first quarter. If we divide it into four, as I just said, that you will be able to see one phase. Okay, so here you will be seeing two parts. The other side again, two parts are there. So the first quarter you will see that is the half of the new moon and crescent. Then you can see the first half quarter of it. The first half quarter. So that is the first half quarter. Then we move on and to the next diagram it says waxing gibbous. Now what does the word gibbous mean? Anyone? What is this? What
Ma'am,
is
convex
it?
at both edges.
Yes.
But convex at both edges.
I'm convex at both edges.
Convex at both edges.
See, here this is a circle, fine, and this is a semicircle, isn't it? Your games teacher
Yes,
must have told you to stand in a circle, then you make a circle, and when semicircle, it's just a half of a circle. So it's a condition when we say gibbous, it's a condition when it's more than a semicircle, but not a full circle. So we see this type, we have this type of observation on both the sides. Yes?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this type of condition where we have, you can say where we have not exactly, we have more than of a semicircle. That particular stage is called gibbous. So you have waxing gibbous. Any problem? So convex at both the
No,
edges you
ma'am.
will see. The
No,
portion that I
ma'am.
have color, yes,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
portion that I have covered with a chalk. Next, we talk about a full moon. In Hindi, the word full refers to Poorn. Yes? Sometimes you must have heard your Hindi teacher asking you, पूर्ण रूप से तैयारी कर ली है पेपर की एग्जाम की. So पूर्ण. So Purnima is the night or the time when you see the full moon. So just underlining this also, on the 15th day after full moon, or sorry, after new moon, we can see the full disk, and this is called full moon day or Purnima. So Amavas ki raat and Purnima ki raat. Purnima ki raat you can see the whole full moon. Has anyone observed it ever?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, there's a lot of light that night.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
because it shines fully. Yes. Then again after this the decreasing process again starts taking place. Now you see the full moon and then you see that gradually the phase that you can see or the phase that is emitting light again it starts decreasing. So here we call this again in this, just like have a look on in the next diagram. Here we call it as waning of the moon. Fine. The full moon starts fading or decreasing, and waning word refers to decreasing actually, children. So here we see that waning of the moon or decreasing of the moon has started taking place. So we call this phase as waning of moon or waning moon. Then we have last quarter, and after the last quarter, again we find a new moon day. Again, after 15 days of full moon, we see a crescent disappears completely and no moon is visible. So we call it again as a new moon. So this is a circle, a cyclic process that takes place every month, you can say, but we call it every month, but actually it is 29 days, so near about 1 month. So this whole thing it completes in 29 days. Please underline this point. The time period between two new moon days or two full moon days is 29 days. Fine, children?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay. Now we
Yes,
talk about
ma'am.
asteroids. Okay, we talk about asteroids now. New topic, that is asteroids. See, just have a look in the diagram so that it is easy for you to understand. What do you see in the diagram on page 213?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What do you see? I'm saying. What do you see? You see planets? You see
Yes, ma'am.
orbits?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. Yes. So in between, in the orbit, do you remember what is orbit? Bhavya, can you tell me what is meant by orbit? Bhavya, can you hear me? What is meant by orbit? Anyone else who wants to give the answer? Who knows what is an orbit?
Ma'am, may I tell?
Ma'am, may I?
Who is Samantha? Yes. Tell the answer.
Ma'am, may I tell?
Yes, tell please.
Ma'am, the fixed paths on which the planets move are termed as orbits.
Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. It is the fixed path on which the planet move. So now I think well you understand that if you just see the orbit of Jupiter and look into the diagram for understanding, if you look into the diagram and if you observe the orbit of the Jupiter and the orbit of the Mars, in between that you observe a belt. You can see another circle. Yes, and this circle, it is made up of the debris of the planet. That means the waste that has come out from the planet. And this is called asteroid belt or asteroid. These are called asteroids. Can you see it clearly, children?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
They are made
Yes,
up of
ma'am.
rocks. And
Yes,
the
ma'am.
enlarged, the, yes, the enlarged view of it is also given. You can see rock-like structure there where asteroid is mentioned. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, so these
ma'am.
are rocky,
Yes,
yes, these are rocky celestial objects, that is the objects that are heavenly objects, and these are present between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. And it also consists of the debris, that is the waste material coming from the planet. If the planet sometimes there is something that because of the friction or anything, if the breaking takes place or some debris come out, that also forms a part of the asteroid. Now please underline the last line, that is the largest asteroid has a diameter of about 1000 kilometer. That is the diameter. Please underline that. Done, children?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes,
Next we
ma'am.
talk about, okay, yes. Next we talk about the comets. This was asteroid. Now see, since the diagram is there, you are able to understand and you can have an idea of it in your mind. Now next we have comets. This is a new term, new heading, that is comet. These are celestial objects which revolve around the sun in elliptical orbits. Around the sun in elliptical orbits. A comet is made up of dust and gases. So here it is made up of dust and gases. There it was made up of rocky particles. Yes, rock particle. And here and the debris of the planet. Here it is made up of dust and gases. Please underline that. When I repeat something, please underline that. So now you, and the next page, you can see the diagram of it. Halley's comet that appeared on 8th March 1986. So it says that a bright object with a luminous tail. Yes, and as the comet approaches the sun, since it is a ball of hot gases, burning gases. So what happens? The gases vaporize and it becomes luminous, forming a shape of the tail. So you can see an object, a celestial object with a tail. This is called comet. Another important thing about it, it has a tail-like shape. Then please underline that tail-like shape. Then coming to the second paragraph, third line, Halley's comet can be seen every 75 to 76 years, which was seen last in 1986. Underline 1986, and next it will be seen in 2061. That you can calculate by adding 75, 76 years to it. And children,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
okay. Next we talk about meteors. These are the flashes of the streaks of light that can be seen in the sky. Many of the time it can be seen, and I think many of us have observed the meteors. So please underline, they are called the shooting stars in the second line. Which movie do you remember there was a shooting star? Ranbir Kapoor's movie. Anyone? Well, that is so difficult. That remains a homework for you then, HD, huh? It's
Ma'am,
just that if
shooting
you
stars
can,
were also in another movie. Ma'am, in Zero.
huh?
Ma'am, in Zero.
Huh? Okay, zero. So you've observed it in the movie? Have you seen?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It looks beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the mythological belief behind that? Anyone? a myth which is associated to it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we can make a wish. When we will
Yes,
wish,
correct. Yes, correct,
ma'am, we
correct.
have
We can make a wish. Okay, so this is nothing to do with the scientific terms, and but there is a belief that if you see a shooting star, if you get to see a shooting star, you can make a wish and it comes true. Okay, fine. So in the next class, children, we'll be talking more of this shooting star. Fine. We have come to the end of today's class. We have discussed about the moon, asteroids, and comets. Now, soon as we finish with this, I would like to just tell you in short. Soon after we finish with this, I'll be providing you with the written material. It should be there in your copies. Please make sure that you have it in your copies for the examination. Second important thing is you will be having revision test there. And it is important for you to appear for the test because this time I'll be preparing question paper. It's sort of revision question paper which you'll be solving, and I hope the children who were present there for the revision test, maybe it was for unit test or examination or whatever, has it benefited you?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If not with the
Yes,
subjective
ma'am.
questions, at least with the objective ones. Yes?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So please, as you're attending the class, please do attend the revision classes also, because at least you have all those questions in a diary or in a copy all together, and then you can go through it when you appear for your examination. You have it at one place. Fine. So this is how we have come to the end of today's class, children. In the next class, we'll be talking more of meteors and artificial satellites. So till we meet again, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye,
Thank you.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.